Good evening from Athens, Tennessee. We are at James Robb Gymnasium on the campus of Tennessee Wesleyan as the Bluefield Rams get set to take on the Bulldogs tonight on the road in AAC play. In the Appalachian Athletic Conference, the Rams 6-7 on the year. In the middle of the pack, we'll give you a full rundown of the conference standings in just a moment. My name is Trey Wilson. Thank you for joining us tonight here on the Bluefield Rams Digital Sports Network. Teams are just about set to take the floor. The home starters about to be announced here at the James L. Robb Gymnasium. The Rams women blown out by the number 10 team in the country to open up this doubleheader tonight. The men looking for better results. As the Rams defeated Tennessee Wesleyan earlier this year, back on December the 3rd, it was 84-83. The win at the Dome for the Rams. It sparked, at the time, a 4-game winning streak, which would be quite nice right now because after tonight, only 4 games left in the regular season for the Rams. At home against Reinhardt this weekend, back-to-back road games against Truett McConnell and Union, and then a home game to close out the regular season against Milligan on Wednesday, February the 18th. Rams coming off of a 73-70 loss on the road at St. Andrews in North Carolina over the weekend. A close game after winning 3 straight, coming off the heels of a 4-game losing streak. So trying to bounce back and make up some ground in AAC play and trying to get back to 500 on the year. The Rams are 9-10 on the season, and as mentioned a moment ago, 6-7 overall, which currently has Bluefield tied for 5th place in the league heading into tonight, led by number 23 Union at 12-1 in the AAC. Overall, 20-4 for the Bulldogs, who the Rams will see next week. Milligan receiving votes in the top 25 poll, 10-3 in the AAC standings, and 16-6 on the year. Truett McConnell 9-4 in the league, 14-9 overall. Reinhardt 7-5, 15-7, and then Bryan at 6-7 in the league, tied up with the Rams. Bryan is 12-10 on the year, however. And Tennessee Wesleyan, the next team back behind Bluefield, 5-9 in the Appalachian Athletic Conference, and 10-12 heading into tonight. The starters for the home team, Tennessee Wesleyan tonight. Number 0, Charles White, the 6'3" junior guard out of Huntsville, Alabama. Number 4, Stephen Kyle Jr., the team's leading scorer. He's a 6'3" guard, a senior out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Number 23, Devontae Jenkins, a 6'6" junior forward out of Cross, South Carolina. Number 24, Leland Robinson, a 6'6" junior forward out of Jackson, Tennessee. And number 35, Dante Turnipseed, a 6' senior guard out of Ellenwood, Georgia. Starters for the Rams in just a second. Opening tip is in the air. Goes back to Kyle Grisby, and the Rams do take the first possession. Kyle Grisby, number 5, the 5'8" senior guard out of Louisville, Kentucky. Number 15, Ederson Exume, the 6'7" senior forward out of Elizabeth, New Jersey. Number 22, Alonzo Howard, the 6'6" junior out of Port Royal, Virginia. Up to the basket goes Exume. His shot no good, and a foul whistled underneath. And over the back called against the Rams. And it is against Ederson Exume. Finishing out the starters for the Rams tonight, number 25, Mike Collins, the senior guard out of North Carolina. And number 33, Devin Page, the senior forward out of Newport News, Virginia. Tennessee Wesleyan in the home white going left to right with its first possession tonight. Ball worked around the top of the circle. Tennessee Wesleyan trying to pick up the first points of the ball game. Back out to Kyle at the top of the key. A 3-point shot is up from the corner, and it rolls in. Robinson with the first basket of the night for the Bulldogs, and it's a 3-0 lead for Tennessee Wesleyan here in the first half. Full court pressure set up off the make. And the forward, Devin Page, gets it across half court, gives to Collins. Collins looks underneath for Howard. Grisby all by himself in the corner, fires up a 3 looking for the answer, and it's off the mark. A rebound grabbed underneath. Now off on the break, Tennessee Wesleyan. Kyle gives up to White, and it goes back to Kyle. A pump fake around Collins, pulls up from 10 feet, and he buries the shot. 5-0 Tennessee Wesleyan in the early going. Just about 40 seconds into the start of the game. Collins gets it across half court. Now he needs some help as he picked up his dribble, goes over to Devin Page. He'll slow down the offense. Page sweeps through a defender. Collins pops out on the left wing. He gets the pass, has to give it back up to Grisby to reset with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Grisby guarded extremely tightly by Turnipseed. Gives back to Collins, who pulls up from the top of the circle for 3. Off the back of the iron, no good. Howard underneath, the offensive rebound, and a foul called as he was pushed out of bounds. Howard with a foul on the floor called against Jenkins of Tennessee Wesleyan, the first team foul against the Bulldogs. 5-0. 13:10 left in the first half. Rams trailing Tennessee Wesleyan. Inbound pass goes to Collins. Exume gets it and gives up to Kyle Grisby. Grisby left alone for three, but this time opted not to take the shot. Guarded by White, right on him. Down to the block for Exume. Exume spins down the lane, backs up as a shot blocked at the rim and tipped out of bounds by Tennessee Wesleyan. Shot was blocked by Robinson, who had it played well, and the Rams will inbound from the baseline with a fresh shot clock. Grisby, the inbounder, gives it into Collins, who's guarded extremely tightly by Kyle. They don't want to let him get open for that quick three-point shot. Page grounds a pass from Grisby that was tipped for a moment. Now working underneath, Page drives the lane and lays it in. First point of the night for the Rams belongs to Devin Page. 5-2, Bulldogs lead with 17.5 minutes showing on the game clock. Kyle looking down to the block, backing down is Robinson. Spins around the other side of Howard, kicks it out. Three-point shot from Turnipseed, rolls in from the corner. That was Robinson for the three, assisted by Jenkins, and it is 8-2. Tennessee Wesleyan up by 6 early. Grisby dribbles through a double team across half court. Now he's trapped as he picks up his dribble, bounces it over to Collins, and a deep breath, exhale, and reset at half court with 20 on the shot clock and 17 minutes on the game clock. Drive and kick, Collins for three, contested, and it's off the back of the rim, no good. Turnipseed the rebound and pushes the tempo for Tennessee Wesleyan. Quickly up into the backcourt, then rolls back up top for White. Into the corner, wide open for three, and it's buried from the corner by Kyle. Three-point shots raining down for Tennessee Wesleyan early. It's 11-2, Bluefield trailing with 16:43 in the first half, and a timeout called by Richard Morgan. This is a Tennessee Wesleyan team that can light it up offensively. They average 81 points a game this year. The Rams average 75 on the year, but Bluefield a bit better defensively. Stephen Kyle for Tennessee Wesleyan leads the Bulldogs in scoring with 15 points a game, 14 points a game this year for White, and 13.5 points a game for Devontae Jenkins, a team that has knocked down 155 threes this year. Put that into perspective, the Rams have knocked down 140, and Bluefield does like to shoot it from outside with guys like Collins and occasionally Kyle Grisby and Zeke Williams. And speaking of Zeke Williams, the Rams' second leading scorer has checked into the game for the first time. Williams averages 12 points a game. He's been coming off the bench of late. The inbound pass comes to him, and he's trapped. Rams got to get it across half court. 10-second clock just about to run out. Fired up court for Page, and maybe just a second ahead of getting called for a 10-second violation. Ball worked down to the block and back up top for Grisby. Works to the corner for Zeke Williams. Williams drives and kicks. Page in the right corner for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Exume going up for the rebound. And a foul called. No foul call. It's out of bounds. Say it touched off of the shot clock, off of the miss. 9-point lead for Tennessee Wesleyan with 16:20 left in the game. And the Rams had a pass tipped and out of bounds. Six early points from Robinson for Tennessee Wesleyan. The other 5 have come from Kyle. The Bulldogs, somebody said the last one was tipped off of Tennessee Wesleyan. Correction, it was tipped off of Bluefield. The Bulldogs keep it. Trying to extend their 9-point lead. A good ball movement is working down the lane, laying it up and in. Jenkins for 2, his first points of the night, and the lead is 11, 13-2. Bulldogs all over the Rams to start off this tough road game. Williams in transition, backs out, resets the offense with Kyle Grisby. 15:40 left in the half. It's 13-2. Zeke drives to the basket, pulls up at the block, has to pick up his dribble, needs some help. Coming over to bail him out, Exume steps up and under, puts up a shot, hook shot off the basket, no good. The rebound to the Bulldogs. Tennessee Wesleyan pushing it across court. White finds Robinson, who pops out. Rams in a man-to-man defense against a good offensive team of Tennessee Wesleyan. Drive and a floater falls in for White. Tough shot with contact, and he dropped it in. 15-2. 5 minutes into the start of the game, and Page has to call timeout. He can't get it in against the full court pressure of Tennessee Wesleyan. Rams have already burned 2 timeouts, not even 5 minutes into the game, trailing 15-2 with 15:03 left in the first half. You're listening to the Rams Digital Sports Network. 15:03 showing on the clock in the first half, and Tennessee Wesleyan has stretched out a big early lead. Now the Rams, over the course of this year, have been patient at chipping away against early deficits. They fell behind early again on Saturday against St. Andrews and nearly pulled off that comeback. Williams throws it away. Turnover for the Rams all by himself. The layup rolls in transition for Turnipseed. 17-2 as he gets his first 2 of the game. Grisby back the other way. Quickly caught the defense off guard. Went down the left side of the lane and laid it up. 2 points for Kyle Grisby, and it's now 17-4 as they quickly trade baskets. At the top of the circle, Turnipseed over to Kyle. Goes back to Turnipseed, and he walked. Took a step before he dribbled, and the Bulldogs turn it over. Mike Collins gets ready to check in for Bluefield. Comes in for Zeke Williams. Williams gets a mouthful from Richard Morgan after turning it over on the last possession. Mike Collins gets it up court. Bounce pass over to Kyle Grisby. Grisby left alone from 35 feet. Fires up a 3, and he nailed it. 5 quick points for Kyle Grisby. The Rams have closed it back within 10, 17-7 with 15:05 left in the game. First 3 hit by the Rams tonight. Good ball movement, pass down to the basket, and a layup up and in from White. A quick answer from Tennessee Wesleyan, 19-7 off of the nice assist from Jenkins. And now Bluefield trying to hurry it back up court. It's kicked out of bounds off of the fingers of Tennessee Wesleyan. Rams keep it inbound at the baseline with Grisby. 19-7, 13:54 left in the opening frame. Grisby looking for somebody to get it to. Collins in the corner, catch, shoot, off the mark, no good. Rebound tipped, out of bounds. Last touched by Kyle for Tennessee Wesleyan. The Rams keep it. And now we'll inbound on the sideline, far side of the court, opposite of the benches here at James L. Robb Gymnasium. Grisby gets the inbound pass, drives down the basket, looking for a cutting Aaron Williams. He threw it out of bounds. Williams didn't cut. Aaron Williams, the 6'10" center out of Fredericksburg, Virginia, having just checked in for the first time. Joseph McLean is also in for the Rams, number 12, the junior out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now Tennessee Wesleyan off the turnover. White looking to the corner. Kyle by himself for 3, off the mark, had it short. And Grisby, an emphatic rebound, pushing the tempo. McLean behind the defense, off the feed from Grisby, up and under. He couldn't get it to go. Hits the deck, and now a football pass down court. Tennessee Wesleyan looking for the answer. The layup is off the mark from Jenkins, and Page grabs the rebound. Wild back and forth start to this game. Page brings it up court himself. Goes over to Grisby at the left side of the circle outside the 3-point line. Backs up near half court, looks to Richard Morgan on the far side of the court to get the offensive play call. 13 minutes left in the half. Rams down by 12. Grisby drives and kicks to Page. It's tipped and it's taken away. Numbers back the other way. Robinson lays it up right around Mike Collins for 2. A turnover turns into 2 points, and it's a 2-touchdown lead for Tennessee Wesleyan, 21-7 with 12:42 left in the first half. Page dribbling through defenders, trying to split the trap, and he had it go out of bounds, and it was last touched by Tennessee Wesleyan. Rams keep it. Pair of subs coming in for the Bulldogs. It's like number 20, Arden Beeler, the 6'2" senior out of Knoxville, is into the game, as well as Derek Triplett, the 6'5" senior of Huntsville, Alabama. Rams need to get somebody to inbound the basketball. Full court pressure still in place from Tennessee Wesleyan. They've been running it all game. Collins works it in to Terrell Owens, the sophomore out of Portsmouth, Virginia, who has just come into the game for the Rams. Worked across half court. Ooh, almost over and back from McLean. Rams do get it ahead just in front of the 10-second violation. Driving down the baseline, Owens is fouled. A blocking foul against Tennessee Wesleyan. Foul called against, it was called against Robinson, so it'll be his first. Grisby inbounds, works up court. Rams with only 2 starters left in the game at this point. Works down the block. Owens, a step back jump shot. He hit it. Terrell Owens, what an addition he's been. His 5th game for the Rams now. He scored in double figures in all 4 to open up his career with Bluefield, the sophomore out of Portsmouth, Virginia. And it's 21-9 in the first half. 12 minutes left on the game clock. Down to the post and worked back up top to White. White drives and kicks to Kyle, guarded by Collins. Kyle drives on the right side of the lane. The floater bounces off the back of the iron and drops through. The nice touch from Kyle. He's active early with 7 points already. And going up court, Kyle Grisby was fouled A reach in, and it's called against White. More subs for Tennessee Wesleyan as Tyler Whitman checks in. Dante Turnipseed's back into the game off of the bench. 23-9, Tennessee Wesleyan leading with 11:48 to play in the first half. Derek Lee, the freshman out of Bristol, Virginia high school product, is into the game for the first time. Number 2, who had a career-high 7 points in the Rams' last home game against Montreat. Up to the top of the circle, past half court for Terrell Owens. Owens gives up to Joseph McLean. McLean down the right side of the lane, passes out to Williams, who can't handle the pass. Chases it down just in front of the Tennessee Wesleyan bench, and he stepped on the baseline. Williams had the pass right in his lap and couldn't bring it in. Rams are playing deep early. Lee, Owens, Aaron Williams, Joseph McLean, and Collins on the floor for the Rams. They set up the zone defense. Switch now to a 2-3, trying to get a trap set up. 23-9, Tennessee Wesleyan leading here in the first half with 11 minutes until the break. Turnipseed goes off a screen. He bounces it over into the corner and then gets it right back. Guarded by Lee. Shot clock is down to 10 with 11 minutes on the game clock. Whitman fires up a 3 and he drilled it. First basket of the game on the first shot attempt. Whitman stretches the lead to 26-9 for Tennessee Wesleyan with 10:50 left until halftime. And a whistle. The shot clock didn't start on the inbound. So they'll try to set it back up, gives Tennessee Wesleyan another chance to set up a press. 31 seconds is what they set the shot clock to. Collins inbounds to Derek Lee. Lee drives it up across the timeline, bounces over to McLean, nearly threw it in the bench. McLean has to fire it across court, and Owens is able to bring it in. Now Owens taking it himself, drives, kicks out to Collins from 25 feet, puts up the three-point shot off the mark. Rebound is bounced around, stolen away by McLean. McLean goes up for the shot, and he's fouled. The rebound went to Whitman, and McLean punched it right out of his hand. And shots on the way, I believe, for Joseph McLean. Yes, indeed. He will head to the line. They'll say it was on the shot. McLean is a 69% free throw shooter. The junior out of Philadelphia averages 9 points a game for the Rams. And he misses the first free throw. It's the first foul shots attempted by either team tonight. Rams trying to get to double digits in the game. McLean hits the second shot. It's 26-10 with 10:28 left until halftime. One of the starters coming back, Alonzo Howard, checks in for Aaron Williams. Not much scoring for the Rams here in the early going. 1 point for McLean, 2 for Page, 2 for Owens, and 5 for Grisby. That is it, down by 16 in the first half. Turnipseed guarded by Lee. Mike Collins comes in to set up the double team, and he works it across court to Whitman. Whitman backs up against the 2-3 near half court and then gets ready to run the offense. Triplet fires across. It ends up with Beeler. Back over to the top of the key for Whitman. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Tennessee Wesleyan taking its time, getting the offense going. Bounce pass underneath, fired out. Whitman fires up, pulls up for 3, and it's off the iron, no good. And a foul as Owens went up to grab the rebound. The foul is against Davison of Tennessee Wesleyan. Jeremy Davison, who just checked in, the 6'7", 210-pound center out of Melbourne, Florida, junior. Richard Morgan having some words with one of the officials. And he just got a warning from one of the officials. 5 team fouls against Tennessee Wesleyan, 1 against the Rams in the first half, and many of these fouls have come in trying to get the ball across half court. Lee trying to find Howard, throws it out of bounds. Rams are having a lot of trouble breaking the full court pressure of Tennessee Wesleyan. Kyle Grisby, after a very brief trip to the bench, will come back in. Lee goes back to the bench, the freshman, not on the same page with Howard. The Rams have turned it over 3 times here in the first 10-plus minutes of the game. Whitman, skip pass over to the corner, goes back around to Turnipseed, who drives and kicks to Whitman on the left wing. Shot fake, bounce pass, worked out for Kyle. Kyle swings it over to the right wing, another chance to reset. Back out, and Triplet gives it up to Whitman. Good defense from the Rams. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Looking inside, Triplett at the high post. Has it taken out of his hands by Collins. Oh, there they call the jump ball. Call it a tie-up. But Collins getting in defensively. Wrapped up with Derek Triplett. And Collins gives up a few inches and about 100 pounds to Triplett. And a timeout. A timeout called by Tennessee Wesleyan. 26-10. Rams are trailing Tennessee Wesleyan here in the first half with 9:18 until halftime. Bluefield a bit gassed here at the early going. The full court pressure has caused some issues and taking the Rams out of their rhythm. Not to mention Tennessee Wesleyan is shooting 73% so far in the first half, 11 of 15 and 4 of 6 from outside. Tennessee Wesleyan lighting it up against this Bluefield defense and also out-rebounding the Rams 8-3, only 3 rebounds through the first nearly 11 minutes of the game for a Bluefield team that typically doesn't get out-rebounded over the course of the season. In fact, holds a 37-34 rebounding average advantage over opponents on the season. And it's not that Tennessee Wesleyan has much of a size advantage. Out of the timeout, Turnip Seed pulls up for a deep 3, and he hit it from 25 feet out. Way back beyond the arc on the left wing. 29-10, 9:05 left in the first half. Pass comes into McLean. McLean takes it himself across half court. Now the Rams have numbers. All by himself to the basket. Joseph McLean lays it up and in for 2. 29-12, 8:52 left in the game. McLean gets some much-needed points to Bluefield. Kyle at the top of the circle over to Turnip Seed, guarded by Collins. Now down to the baseline. Work to, it's Triplett who puts up the shot and draws the foul. Got the shot to drop plus the foul. Count the basket and a chance to make it a 3-point play. And a chance for Tennessee Wesleyan to stretch this lead to 20 if he can hit the free throw. Triplett to the line. His foul shot rattles out, no good. And then it bounces out of bounds. Owens and Howard were both fighting for the rebound, and the possession goes to Tennessee Wesleyan. Execution not sharp from the Rams in the early going. None of the Bulldogs stayed back for the rebound. 2 players from the same team fighting over a ball with nobody else there. Inbound pass to Turnip Seed at the top of the arc. Goes down for a 8-foot jump shot, knocked down by Leland Robinson. Leland Robinson just checked in, the 6'6" junior out of Jackson. Coming back in after he had been out of the game since the early going. 33-12. Rams trail Tennessee Wesleyan, largest deficit of the game. Pass down court. McLean fires up a 10-footer off the mark, no good. Rebound to the Bulldogs, and Turnip Seed leads the break with numbers for Tennessee Wesleyan. Slows down at the top of the three-point line and works it across to Kyle. Kyle backs down against McLean and gives it up. Now working over to Robinson, who fires up from the elbow. Off the mark, and the rebound out of bounds. Last touched by Jenkins of Tennessee Wesleyan, the Rams ball. But here's another chance for Tennessee Wesleyan to set up the full court press. Zeke Williams is coming back in, as is Devin Page. Page comes in for Collins. Williams is into the game for McLean. Page gets it into Williams. The trap set up. Williams breaks it over to Owens and then gets it across half court to Grisby. Grisby gives up to Owens, cutting down the lane, and Owens lost it. And now Turnip Seed is all by himself. Pulls up and he throws it down with 2 hands. 35-12. Tennessee Wesleyan all over Bluefield. Turnip Seed's got 7. Got to get it in. Another Rams turnover turns into points for Tennessee Wesleyan. Grisby. Rams get it across half court, have a 3-on-2 instead. Throw it back to give it to Page to reset. Page drives and fires it up from just inside the free throw line. He drops the jump shot. 2 points for Devin Page, 35-14. Quickly back goes Wesleyan. Trapped under the basket, extra pass, laid up and in for Robinson. Robinson for 2. And it's 37-14 off with a nice assist from Jenkins. Every time the Rams score, it seems like Wesleyan's right there for the answer. Press broken, Grisby over the timeline. On the right side of the wing, right side of the circle, gives it over to Devin Page, and a foul is whistled away from the basketball against Tennessee Wesleyan. Robinson calling for a hold as Owens was trying to break through. Turnip Seed heads to the bench, and coming in for him, Arden Beeler. Pass skipped up court for Devin Page to set up the offense. Page guarded by Beeler. As the clock rolls, under 7 minutes left in the first half. Rams down big. Howard Gives it to Owens in the post. Owens goes up, lays it up, and a foul is called. Waiting for the call. They say no shot, but the foul is against Tennessee Wesleyan. And it's against Robinson as he picks up his second in a matter of moments. And Owens will head to the free throw line for a 1-and-1. So the foul's called on the floor. 7th team foul against Tennessee Wesleyan here in the first half. And Terrell Owens, in his limited action this year, he's 15 of 20, 75% from the free throw line. And he hits the front end of the 1-and-1. 3 points now for Owens tonight. This is his 5th game as a member of the Bluefield Rams. All 4 games coming off the bench so far. He's averaging 11 points. A Deep Creek High School product in Chesapeake, Virginia, but he grew up in Portsmouth, right across the line. Second foul shot is off the mark. Tennessee Wesleyan with them all, and a 22-point lead, 37-30. 6:40 left to play. Beeler gets it over into the corner for Jenkins. Goes up top to White. White back to Beeler, who pops out on the right wing. Swing pass around to Kyle. Kyle on the left wing pulls up for a 3, and he buries it. 40-15 Tennessee Wesleyan. Kyle is on fire. He's got 10. Williams driving down court all by himself. Lays it up with the left hand. Split 2 defenders and gets 2. It's 40-17. Beeler left by himself. Wesleyan fires up a 3, and he drops it. Back-to-back threes drained by Tennessee Wesleyan. It's 43-17 with 6 minutes until halftime. Owens gets the inbound pass near half court and dribbles across quickly. Gives up to Page right in front of the TWC logo at half court. Page over to Williams on the left wing. Owens at the top of the key for 3. Buries the 3. Terrell Owens is starting to take over for the Rams. He's got 5, and the Rams have cut it back to 23. 5:30 left in the first half. Looking down to the block, Tennessee Wesleyan. Said kicked back up top to Triplett. Triplett bounce pass to White, who's fouled, driving towards the block. No shot on the play. The foul is on the floor, and it's against Alonzo Howard. That's his first foul. Just the 3rd team foul against the Rams in the first half. With 5:23 left on the game clock until the halftime break, the Rams are down by 23. Baseline inbounds for Tennessee Wesleyan. Pass goes up top to Triplett. Triplett swings over to the left side, gets it right back, and Grisby comes and takes it away from him, and then Grisby's fouled. Triplett reached in. As Grisby would have been all by himself for an easy 2. Instead, he will head to the free throw line for the 1-and-1. Good news for the Rams. He's a 74% free throw shooter. Grisby averaging 14 points a game this year, which leads the team. He has 5 already tonight, trying to capitalize on these free throws and add more to it. The front end of the 1-and-1 rolls it in for his 6th point tonight. Grisby, a senior out of Louisville, Kentucky. His second foul shot off the side of the rim, too far to the left, and the rebound to Tennessee Wesleyan. Now the Rams set up full court man-to-man, but Tennessee Wesleyan having no trouble getting it over half court. Williams maybe got away with a bit of a push against Turnipseed, who has checked back in and is running the point for Tennessee Wesleyan. 5 minutes until halftime, 43-21. Rams trail Tennessee Wesleyan on the road. Whitman trapped by Grisby and Howard. He breaks through it and gives up the pass, gets the pass right back, and Grisby was nearly there to take it away. Spins around, Grisby drives to the lane, had a pass tipped and bounces around, gets it back, and the set jump shot from Whitman is off the mark. Rebound tipped out to Zeke Williams. And Zeke slows down to try to get the ball across half court, fires up to Page, who finds Grisby, steps back for 3, and he buries the 3. Kyle Grisby's heating up. He's got 8 points now. Make that 9 points, and it's 43-24. Quick answer, and it's knocked down by Turnipseed. A 3-point try, hit in transition for Tennessee Wesleyan. Now Page back at the other end, goes up, and he has it stripped out and off of the Rams. Page was the last to touch it. 46-24. It seems like everything the Rams have done in the first half, Tennessee Wesleyan has been right there for an answer and then some. Keeping all of the momentum. Packed house tonight. This home game at James L. Robb Gymnasium for Tennessee Wesleyan. Rams have come back from some 20-point-plus deficits this year. They've also given up some 20-plus point leads. So the way the first half has gone has not very often been indicative of how the second half will go for the Rams. Ball was tipped out of bounds by McLean. Tennessee Wesleyan has it at half court. White is back into the game, goes off of a screen right around Howard, kicks it out to Kyle, who pulls up for a three, and it bounces out, no good. The follow is off the mark from Jenkins. Rams control it. Trying to bring it back to a 20-point game with a 2 on this possession. McLean drives, dishes underneath. Exume up and off the glass for 2. And indeed they do. It's 46-26. Tennessee Wesleyan, no hesitation, working it back up court very quickly. It's given to White, who backs up to half court and resets, guarded by McLean. Hands off to Turnip Seed. Turnip Seed goes around the top of the arc, down to the baseline for White. Ball's on the floor. White couldn't handle the pass. Alonzo Howard comes away with it, and now the Rams are off on the break. McLean gets the pass, gives off to Zeke Williams, fires over to the left wing. Devin Page can't handle it cleanly. Picks it up and drives to the basket, lays it up and in. Went right around the defender, White. Got it for 2, and the Rams have cut it back to 18, and a timeout called by Tennessee Wesleyan head coach Mike Poe. Full timeout with 3:04 left to play in the first half. Bluefield trailing Tennessee Wesleyan 46-28 on the Rams Digital Sports Network. (46-28) with 3:04 left until halftime. The Rams are trailing Tennessee Wesleyan on the road. The Bulldogs have lit it up from the floor and then some in the first half. The Bulldogs with the possession. Turnip Seed on the right side of the court for Tennessee Wesleyan. Backs down against McLean. Steps back out into the corner, needs some help, and gives it back up court for White. White going in against Exume. Shot clock at 15. White hands off to Kyle, who goes up for a shot, has it blocked away by Exume. Gets his own rebound, and then he's fouled on the way up. Fouls against Rodney Casey, the senior who just checked in off the bench. And foul shots on the way for Kyle. 10 points in the first half so far for Kyle. Stephen Kyle Jr. These are just the second and third free throw attempts of the game for Tennessee Wesleyan. And he rattles in the first foul shot. Setting up for the second. Grisby coming back in after the shot. And he hits it. KG back onto the floor. Zeke Williams heads back to the bench. 20-point lead for Tennessee Wesleyan with 2:38 left in the first half. Against the full court pressure, Page fires it up for KG, who dribbles into a trap, and then a timeout called by the Rams. Grisby called for time, dribbled right into a trap across half court. 2:29 left in the first half. The Rams trailing 48-28. Tennessee Wesleyan shooting 68% from the floor, 19 of 28. The Rams shooting a respectable 46%, but hard to keep up with this pace. That includes 8 of 11 from outside. The Rams have not been able to defend the three-point shot for Tennessee Wesleyan so far. Stephen Kyle Jr. has knocked down 2. Tyler Whitman has 1. Arden Beeler's 1 of 1 from outside. Leland Robinson 2 for 2 from three-point range, and Dante Turnipseed is 2 for 2 from three-point range. Just an unbelievable shooting display. Kyle has 12 points. Robinson has 12 points for Tennessee Wesleyan. Turnipseed with 10. Rams leading scorer here in the early going, Kyle Grisby, has 9. 6 points for Terrell Owens as well, giving a spark off the bench. The Rams have been out-rebounded 13-5 so far in the first half. Only 4 defensive rebounds for the Rams in the first 17 and a half minutes of the game. Players walking back to the floor after the timeout. Rams will have it at half court on the far side. Going to the left. The inbound comes to Grisby. 2.5 minutes until halftime. 25 seconds on the shot clock from the timeout. Grisby, a bounce pass up to McLean. Drives to the basket, kicks out for Page, who fires one up from 10 feet, and he knocked it down. Devin Page for 2. The Rams have hit the 30-point mark. It's 48-30 with 2:15 left in the opening half. The ball's kicked off the foot of White. He almost lost it, gets his own ball on the floor, fires it up for Kyle. Kyle drives to the basket and draws a foul against Page. 2 shots coming up for Kyle. The first foul shot, it's good. Stretch the lead to 49-30 for Tennessee Wesleyan. Trying to hit 50 points in the first half and still plenty of time to hit even more than that. He's lighting it up all over the floor this evening from Athens, Tennessee. The second foul shot rolls out no good. Exume grabs the board. It's a 29-point gap with under 2 minutes left until the halftime break. Ball swung over for Page on the left wing. Page looks at the post instead, passes to Grisby at the top of the arc. Grisby gives it up to Exume, drives, kicks over for Casey. Rodney Casey drops in a floater for 2. His first basket tonight, 49-32. Rodney Casey gets into the scoring column. 1:20 until halftime. Ball bounced back over to the left wing for Turnipseed. Turnipseed drives, dishes underneath. Layup try is up and off the mark, and then the follow is good from Jenkins. 51-32. Rams break the pressure and get it across half court. McLean is fouled. Kite reached in. And McLean will go back to the line for 2 shots. Correction, make that the 1-and-1 coming up for McLean. That's the 9th team foul against Tennessee Wesleyan in the first half. Terrell Owens is back in as he gives Exume a high five. Ederson heads back to the bench. First foul shot from McLean. Front end of the 1-and-1, bounces in and falls through. McLean has 4. Collins coming in for the shooter after this free throw. Second foul shot from McLean is good, so here comes Collins. It's 51-34 with 1:08 left in the first half. McLean has 5 points. And the ball thrown away on the inbound try from White. All the way up near half court, it went out of bounds. The Rams will take over. Bluefield chipping away. Mentioned before, this is very similar to the road game the Rams played against Berea. About the same distance trip. Another team with blue and white colors. Terrell Owens puts up a layup try. Off the mark, no good. Rebound to Tennessee Wesleyan. Now the Bulldogs on the break. Pushes it up to Turnipseed in the corner. Guarded by Collins. Drives the baseline. Dribbles a pass out for Kite, who puts up a 3, and he rolls it in. Lead is back to 20. 54-34. And a big answer from Tennessee Wesleyan. Across half court to Page. Page pulls up from 15 feet, and his jump shot off the mark. Tipped out. Collins can't grab the rebound. It goes to Tennessee Wesleyan. White up court. Kite for 3. Off the iron. No good. Rebound is grabbed out of the air and put back up. No good from Jenkins. And then the third try is off the mark. Owens comes in to clean it up with the rebound. 10 seconds till halftime. Rams will hold for the last shot. And no, they won't. Grisby fires up a three, contested. It's off the mark, no good. And now one more chance for Tennessee Wesleyan. Turnip seed, three-point shot at the elbow, off the mark. The elbow extended on the right wing. But he misses it, hit the side of the rim, and the Rams will head to the halftime break down 54-34. It's a 20-point lead for the home team, Tennessee Wesleyan, as the Rams are in danger of falling 2 games under 500 without a 20-point rally in the second half. Come back in 15 minutes for the second half. We'll wrap up the first half stats and look to see if the Rams can chip away at this lead for the Bulldogs and the Rams Digital Sports Network. Back to start the second half here at Tennessee Wesleyan. Bluefield trailing 54-34 to the Bulldogs. And off the inbound, the Rams have the first possession in the second half. Trey Wilson on the Rams Digital Sports Network. And in the first half, the Rams down by 20. Tennessee Wesleyan shot 60% in the first half. The Rams shot 45, respectable but not good enough when the team lights it up with 54 points and goes 9 of 14 from three-point range. And that's what Tennessee Wesleyan did in the first half. Terrell Owens driving to the basket, puts up the first try offensively for the Rams. And it's off the mark, no good. Tennessee Wesleyan with its first offensive possession in the second half. Looking under the basket and wide open for the layup. It's put up and in by Jenkins, 56-34. The Rams having again trouble with the inbound against the full court. Ball goes to Owens. Owens kicks out to Grisby. Grisby drives the baseline. Extra pass underneath. Devin Page is there to lay it up and in. 2 points. Gives him 8 for the night and a couple of baskets answered in the first parts of the second half. And Grisby is called for a foul as Kite hit the deck. For Grisby, it's his first foul. Calling for a push. 18:47 left to play. Rams down by 20. 9 points in the first half for Grisby, 6 for Page and Owens. Tennessee Wesleyan led by Kite, who had 16 points, 12 points for Leland Robinson, and 10 points for Dante Turnipseed. The Rams were out-rebounded in the first half, 20-7. Ball worked over to Turnipseed on the left wing, skips down the lane, passes it, puts it on the floor, it drops in front of Robinson. Robinson picks it up and buries it for 2. 58-36, Rams quickly in transition. Pass from Grisby and Exume lays it up and in for 2. A quick answer, they're trading baskets. The Rams can't afford that though. Back up court, Kite left open for 3 and he hit it. 59-38, lead right at 61-38. Lead at 23 for Tennessee Wesleyan. Ball tipped out of bounds and it's off of the leg of Terrell Owens as Kyle Grisby was trying to drive to the basket and find him. There's turnover number 5 on the night for the Rams. Bluefield only turned the ball over 4 times in the first half. Just could not slow down the offensive attack from Tennessee Wesleyan. That's kept up here in the second half. Ball's tipped in the air. Owens comes away with it. And the Rams have numbers. A 4-on-2 back the other way. Owens keeps it himself and he's called for the offensive foul. A charge called against Owens as Robinson set up to take it. First foul against Terrell Owens tonight. And 2 minutes into the second half, not looking much better for the Rams. In fact, it's getting worse. Now down 23. Ball in the lead for White and the Bulldogs. Goes over to Turnipseed. White, top of the arc, gets it back. Has his pass tipped, stolen by Collins, and then Collins gives it right back. Couldn't hang on. White kicks out. Turnipseed, 3-point shot. Off the rim, no good. Owens there for the rebound. Grisby walks across half court. The rare times that Tennessee Wesleyan has missed a shot, it's helpful for the Rams, not just because they don't get points, but because they can't set up in that full court pressure. Exume pulls up for a jump shot inside the foul line, and it's off the iron. No good. Rebound down to the Bulldogs. Backing down to the post goes Robinson, and it's taken away. Collins gets it. Gives it up to Page. Rams trying to cut this lead. 61-38. 3 minutes into the second half. Page drives and kicks. Grisby alone for 3. Fires it up. Too strong off the backside of the rim. The rebound to Robinson. Robinson takes it himself. 3-on-2 up court for Tennessee Wesleyan. Turnipseed gets it in the left corner and goes up top to Kite. Kite shot fake. Bounce pass. Ends up down into the post for Robinson. Robinson backing down to the glass. Lays it up and in. 63-38. Now Owens up court for the Rams. Goes over to Collins. Back up to Devin Page. Page pulls up from the elbow. Shot left short. Exume gets the offensive rebound. Puts it up off the glass plus the foul. And much needed couple of points for the Rams. Exume now has 6, and he will head to the line to try to finish off the 3-point play. Rams 5 of 8 from the free throw line in the first half. Didn't get very many opportunities. Same case pretty much for Tennessee Wesleyan, who shot 3 of 5 from the line. The shot from Exume, he clanks it off the side of the rim. No good. Exume, just a 69% free throw shooter, misses there. Can't finish the three-point play. It's a 23-point lead for Tennessee Wesleyan. Turnip Seed has it for the Bulldogs against the zone of Bluefield. Ball's given over to Triplett. He's up down on the block with Jenkins. Jenkins up top for White. White drives, has it tipped out and stolen by Collins. Rams with a 3-on-2 going back. Collins gives to Page in the corner, and now the defense is caught up. It's back to 5-on-5. Page sweeps through, fires up a three-point shot. It's an air ball and out of bounds off of White. Rams keep it. Jeremy Davison is in for Tennessee Wesleyan. Jenkins goes to the bench. Long inbound pass up to Devin Page right in front of half court. Grisby bounces it underneath for Exume. Exume spins down at the block, kicks it out for Grisby in the corner. Grisby shot fake, now drives down the baseline, lays it up, and rolled it in with a nice moves. Grisby for 2. First Ram in double figures, he has 11. Wesleyan back the other way, a quick answer. Up and in with Davison. Tennessee Wesleyan beat Bluefield up court again. Bulldogs have out-hustled the Rams all night. Collins gets it, pulls up for 3 on the left wing, and he hit it. Mike Collins for 3 brings it back to an 18-point game. Excuse me, make it a 20-point game. 65-45, under 15 left. Going to need some 3 balls to fall if the Rams are going to overcome this 20-point gap. Into the corner goes Beeler. Beeler works it underneath. Davison goes up and his shot no good. Rebound to Exume. Grisby walks it up, trying to bring it back under 20 points. Page down the baseline, goes up and he's fouled. Beeler charged with the foul and shots coming up for Page as Beeler picks up his first. Subs getting ready to come in for the Rams, Aaron Williams and Joseph McLean after the first shot from Page. Devin's first foul shot. It's good. Brings it back to a 19-point game. Exume and Owens back to the bench. Page's second foul shot, and Devin hits a pair from the line. He's got 10 points now, and it's an 18-point game. We'll see Wesleyan tips the ball up court. Kite pulls up from 18 foot, and his shot's short off the rim. Aaron Williams with an aggressive rebound comes underneath to grab it. Now Kyle Grisby takes on the entire Tennessee Wesleyan defense himself. Fires up a shot in transition. Off the mark, no good. There's Collins for the rebound. Tips it out to Page. Page drives in the lane, fakes one way, goes the other, and lays it up with the left hand. 4 quick points for Devin Page. He's got 12, and a timeout called by Bluefield. They've cut it back to 16, 65-49 with 14:04 left to play on the Rams Digital Sports Network. 65-49 with 14:04 left to play. The Rams have closed the gap to now 16 points, trailing Tennessee Wesleyan, down by as many as 22 here in the second half. Inbound pass worked up to Turnipseed, who quickly works it up court, pulls up from 10 feet, and he knocks down the jump shot right in the face of Mike Collins. Tennessee Wesleyan still hardly missing. Leads back to 18. The Bulldogs are shooting over 60% for the game. Grisby has to get it across half court, and he does. He bounces up to Page. Page finds Collins. McLean right into the basket all alone, couldn't handle it cleanly. He kicks back out to Collins for three, off the mark, no good. Williams gets the offensive rebound. Aaron Williams, the hook rolls in. Big shot for Aaron Williams, and the Rams have closed it again. 67-51, 13.5 to play. Collins steals the pass, and then he's fouled. Kite pushed him right into the front row of the seats. Second foul on Kite with his 19 points, and the Rams get it back off the turnover. The pass thrown right up court to Mike Collins from White. Page up to Collins as the Rams get it in. Collins double team, needs some help, bounces it through to the defenders to Page. Page steps back and reorganizes at the top of the key, gives up to Grisby. Down to McLean. McLean at the baseline, skips it across. Page left alone, three-point shot. Off the back of the rim, no good. Williams chases down the offensive rebound and throws it back up to McLean. Good hustle play from Aaron Williams. Another try for the Rams with 13 minutes left on the game clock. McLean lost it. It rolls into the hands of Collins. Collins needs help, gives up to Aaron Williams, who fires it over to Kyle Grisby. Grisby lost his footing, slipped and hit the floor, and he turned it over. Up court goes White. White has it stripped out of his hands by McLean, and it's out of bounds. It will stay with Tennessee Wesleyan, but Grisby's limping off the floor after hitting a wet spot on the floor. The Rams are trying to get the attention of some of the officials to come clean up that spot. Grisby wincing in pain on the bench. He comes out. He's replaced by Zeke Williams. And they get a towel out to start to clean up the spot on the floor from where a player took a tumble a moment ago. 67-51, 12:43 left to play. A brief break in the action. I said a moment ago that it was out of bounds off of Bluefield. Correct that. The officials have conferred, and it looks like they will give the possession to the Rams, so Bluefield will have it after that exchange. Tyler Whitman checks in for Charles White for Tennessee Wesleyan. Mike Collins, the inbounder, gives to Joseph McLean. McLean dribbles up for Bluefield, gets it across half court to Page. Goes back to McLean, couldn't handle the pass. Tries to feed it underneath the Williams, and he has it stolen away. Taken away by the Bulldogs. Driving down court, laying it up, no good, is Turnipseed, and the rebound comes to the Rams. Williams got the board, gives it up to Page. Page up court, fires up a layup, no good. Aaron Williams for the offensive rebound and the putback for two. Aaron Williams stepping it up. The Rams have cut it to 14, 67-53 with 12:15 left. Chipping away, the lead was as high as 22 here in the second half. Drive and kick. The jump shot is up in the air and off the mark from Kite. The Rams take the rebound. Correction, that was Davison with the miss. Kicked out to Collins. Collins thought about the three, instead gives it up to McLean. McLean drives baseline, and a foul called against Tennessee Wesleyan. Rams are chipping away against the Bulldogs. Foul was called against Robinson. So he picks up number 3. Davison to the bench, as well as Whitman. White back in after a very quick trip to the sideline. Zeke Williams inbounds, has to hurry, gets it in to Pinkston. Pinkston in for the first time tonight, a fresh haircut. Gives it over to Zeke Williams. Williams goes back to Rob Pinkston, number 23 on the jersey for the Rams shooting guard. And goes back to Zeke. Zeke, top of the circle, drives inside, steps back and knocks down the jump shot. Defender took a spill. Zeke shook him. Kite falling away. Zeke Williams makes it a 12-point game, 67-55. Zeke's got 4. Down to Turnipseed. He goes down to the block for Robinson. Kicked back up top. White drives the right side of the lane, right around Williams. Missed the open layup. Williams grabs the rebound. Aaron Williams has now got 7 boards in very limited minutes. I'd say 5 of those have come in the last 3 or 4 minutes of this game. Rams can cut it back to 10 single digits with a 3. Down 67-55 with 10:52 left. This is not an unfamiliar position for the Rams this year. Pinkston, bounce pass to Williams from 18 feet. Williams jump shot off the iron, no good for Zeke. The rebound pulled out of the air by Robinson. Tennessee Wesleyan trying to get some points. Slow down this Rams run. Kite dribbles around the top of the arc, gives over to Turnipseed. Turnipseed guarded by Pinkston, backs up near half court and fires over to Robinson. Kite pops out on the left side and a foul called against McLean. He reached in. First foul against Joseph McLean tonight. Rodney Casey checking in for Devin Page. 12-point game, 10:21 left to play. Looks like Turnipseed, the guard for Tennessee Wesleyan, taking a moment to adjust his shoes. Inbound pass up to half court for Robinson. Gives up to White. Worked around Turnipseed on the right wing. Right. Gets it back. Now ball's tipped in the air. McLean nearly stole it away. Ends up with Kite. Kite corrals it back in. Scramble play. Ends up with Robinson on the baseline, who fires up the jump shot. Rolls around and falls through. Bounced off the rim 5 times before it finally dropped. 69-55. Clock rolls under 10 minutes left. Zeke Williams stripped out of his hands by Turnipseed. Kite has it. Rams turn it over. Back into the corner. Turnipseed stop. Drop the 3, and he hits it. 5-point swing just like that on a couple of missed opportunities for the Rams. Turnovers really hurting Bluefield over these last couple possessions. Williams gives back to McLean. It's 72-55. The Rams had close to 14. Rodney Casey bounce pass, and he lost it. Back down court off the steal goes Jenkins. Jenkins lays it up and in for 2, and the lead is just like that, back to 19 points. And a timeout called by the Rams. 7 quick points for Tennessee Wesleyan. Back ahead by 19. With 9:17 left to play, Rams trail 74-55 on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Back here at the James L. Robb Gymnasium in Athens, Tennessee. Bluefield trailing 74-55 to Tennessee Wesleyan. Some other scores around the league, games in action right now. 2 other games in action tonight. Make that 3 other games in the AAC. Milligan is leading Truett McConnell late 61-58. And Union all over points. It's 76-48, the Bulldogs leading point in the second half. As Union now ranked in the top 25, looking to stretch out their AAC lead. Montreat and Reinhardt also playing tonight. But here it is 74-55. Bluefield down by 19 points against Tennessee Wesleyan. The officials giving the orders to the Rams players to get back on the floor coming out of the timeout. They come out with Exume, McLean, Grisby, Pinkston, and Aaron Williams. And Aaron Williams has earned himself a couple minutes with the way he's played here in the second half. 7 rebounds for Williams. That's more than the Rams had in the first half alone. Inbound pass comes to Grisby. Tennessee Wesleyan's in there full court pressure once again. Got to work closer to half court. Grisby skips it up to Exume, gets it across half court. And now Rob Pinkston with the ball to run the offense for the Rams. Instead, hands off to Grisby. Grisby kicks it out. Pinkston pulls up for a three, and it's off the mark. No good, but he's fouled. Turnip Seed fouled him late. And 3 shots from the foul line coming up for Pinkston. And big shots coming up for Rob Pinkston. He needs to bury these. He's only 3 of 5 from the line on the year, 60%. Averages 16. Hasn't been to the line much. Lines up the first, and it's off the back of the rim, no good. Dreadful free throw shooting continues for the Rams. That has been a story for Bluefield really since late December. Second foul shot for Williams. Taking his time, lines it up and fires it up. Off the back of the rim, no good. And then Pinkston fouled one of the Tennessee Wesleyan players on the way up. Looks like it was Jenkins, yes. Trying to go over the back. Ball's out of bounds. After Pinkston picks up his first foul, that is the 4th team foul against the Rams in the second half. Charles White, the point guard from Huntsville, Alabama, the junior for Tennessee Wesleyan, works the ball up across half court. Finds Jenkins. Jenkins has his pass tipped. The ball's in the air on the floor, and Tennessee Wesleyan calls timeouts as Jenkins fell on top of it. Mike Poe says make it a full timeout. 76-56, 8:12 left to play. The Rams trying to close the gap and avoid the blowout on the road against Tennessee Wesleyan on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Back from the timeout. It is 76-56. Tennessee Wesleyan with the lead and the ball at 8 minutes left to play. And in no hurry to start the offense. White back up at half court. Rams in the zone defense. White moves over to the right wing. Working underneath, and the shot clock expires as they try to fire the alley-oop up the Turnip Seed. So the Rams take over on the Tennessee Wesleyan turnover, the 10th of the night for the Bulldogs. Tennessee Wesleyan still keeping that shooting percentage up over 60%. Devin Page drives across half court, and then he's fouled, a blocking foul against White. Puts the Rams in the bonus. Devin Page to the line for the 1-and-1. This Bluefield senior out of Newport News, Virginia. Page 4th on the team in scoring, 3rd in players who have been on the roster throughout the whole season. He's a 71% free throw shooter. And heading to the stripe for the second trip tonight. He hits the first foul shot. Went 2 for 2 from the line earlier in the game, so he now has 13 points with that make. That leads the Rams tonight. His second hits it as well. 4 of 4 from the line. Page has 14. And the lead is cut back to 18. Bluefield setting up full court man-to-man on the inbound. Rams in the court right now with Zeke and Aaron Williams. Page Grisby and McLean. Press broken. Ball's up court by Triplett. Triplett waiting for some help at the three-point line. Back out to the guard, White. White goes around Grisby, kicks out to Kite. Kite drives the baseline, lays it up with the left hand on the up and under, got it in. Lead back to 20. Kite continues his huge night, 21 points. McLean is triple teamed and the ball's out of bounds off of the hands of Tennessee Wesleyan. Jenkins got in and punched it into the scorer's table. Page inbounds right in front of this scorer's table. Works it into Grisby with 7:18 left. Rams still trailing 20. Page goes off the pass from Grisby, pulls back for a jump shot at the elbow, and it's no good, off the mark. Rebound ripped down by Jenkins. Bounce pass into the post, and it's off the hands of Aaron Williams, and Williams grabs it. Aaron with the steal. Page brings it across half court. No transition push from Bluefield, just trying to set something up and start chipping away. Grisby down the lane, fires it up off the glass, no good. Exume thought he was fouled, trying to go up for the rebound. The ball comes out to Tennessee Wesleyan. Tennessee Wesleyan may be on track to score the most points the Rams have had scored against them this year. Looking underneath, ball tipped and stolen by Exume. Page pushes up, Grisby shot fake in the right corner. Backs up to Page. Page around the top of the circle, drives the lane, has the ball tipped out on the way up, and it's out of bounds. Last touched by the Rams. Lost it on the way up. And Bryan did score 98 points against the Rams earlier this year, and probably not going to approach that tonight. Tennessee Wesleyan, although they are still shooting 62%. Dallas Lloyd back in November also scored 87. That one might be in reach. But Bluefield is very rarely this year giving up points like this. Already over the average of what they would give up in a game normally. It's really been a matter of the three-point shots falling all night for Tennessee Wesleyan. And hustle plays. Turnip seat spins down the lane, throws it up off the glass, no good. Williams is there for the board. Works it up to Grisby. Grisby drives inside and then comes back out for the three. Fires up a wild three-point shot off the back of the iron. The rebound comes to Tennessee Wesleyan's Triplett. White guarded by Grisby, drives down the lane, goes out to Beeler on the right wing. Now looks to Triplett. Works underneath. Beeler on the give and go, lays it up and in. Off the assist from Davison. It's 80-58, the lead back to 22. The Rams had closed it to 14 before a 7-point run over a matter of seconds for Tennessee Wesleyan a few moments ago, and that might have been the final nail in the coffin for the Rams tonight. Pass underneath, McLean fires it up and he hits the deck as he's fouled. 2 foul shots coming up for Joseph McLean. First free throw, back of the rim, no good. Too strong on that try. Aaron Williams heads to the bench as Zeke Williams comes back in for him. Aaron's got 4 points and 8 boards tonight. And the officials grab a towel to come check out the spot where McLean was on the floor. They're going to clean it up. .454 left. Bluefield trailing 80-58, in danger of falling back 2 games below 500 with only a handful of games left after tonight. Only 4 regular season games left. Reinhardt coming to the Dome on Saturday. Truett McConnell on the road next week. Next weekend, the Rams head to Union in Barberville, Kentucky, a road game against the Bulldogs. So they close out the home schedule against Milligan on the 18th of February. Second foul shot for McLean is good. And Page will check in for him. McLean's got 6 points. The Rams get ready to set up the trap. Inbound comes And stolen away by Grisby. Grisby's got it. Fakes the three. Goes to Zeke. Zeke gives it back to Grisby. Three-point shot. Too strong. Page there for the offensive rebound. Puts it up and no good, but he's fouled. And Page will head to the line and try to stretch out his team-high 14 points. First foul shot from Page. Off the back of the rim, no good. His first miss from the free throw line tonight. Terrell Owens will check in after this foul shot. Page left it very short. Hit the front of the rim and he missed. 80-59, 4:35 left. Davison for Tennessee Wesleyan works it down to White in the corner, now looking to the block. It goes to Triplett, backing up towards the basket. Has a shot blocked by Exume, and the loose ball out of bounds off of nobody knows. Still nobody knows. Devin Page went flying into the crowd, and now they will say Tennessee Wesleyan ball. Owens comes in for Exume. Devin Page went tumbling into the seats. He's all right, still walking around the court, but he took out a handrail on the aisle. Handrail had to be replaced, put back into its spot. Good thing that handrail was a breakaway. Turnip Seed pulls up for three just in front of the shot clock, and he misses it off the mark. Zeke with the rebound, pushes it up, works it to Collins, who fires up a three, no good. Owens with the offensive rebound, puts it back up and in. Terrell Owens. He's got 8 points. Rams close to 19, but time running out. It's 3:43 left on the game clock, down 80-61. Ball tipped and stolen. Williams ripped it out of the hands of Triplett, and then he threw it down court over the head of Grisby. It bounced out of bounds, so forcing a turnover and then giving it right back. Trying to lead Grisby behind the defense. Threw it too far. Got to get the inbound pass in just barely. Worked in ahead of the violation, and a whistle against Owens. And that's a technical foul on Owens. It was way off the ball. One of the officials on the far side of the floor gives Owens a tech, and now the official will go talk with Richard Morgan, and very quietly right next to him. It will send Kite to the foul line for Tennessee Wesleyan. First shot is up and it's off the rim, no good. He hits the second, so the technical shot drops for Kite, gives him now a game-high 22 points. Lead back to 20. Exume checks in, comes into the game for Owens. Richard Morgan having a very calm conversation with Owens in front of the bench after he picked up the technical foul. Frustrations for the Rams tonight, getting blown out at Tennessee Wesleyan in a very pivotal game. Drive to the basket, the layup is up and off the mark from Jenkins. Page grabs the board. 3:20 left. Page works it down to the block. Exume skips back and his hook shot drops in for two. Exume's got 8. It's 81-63, 3:10 left. Ball worked up to the top for White. White finds Kite on the right wing in the corner. Skips it over for Turnip Seed on the left wing. Turnip Seed drives, fakes the pass, and going up. It's out of bounds off of Tennessee Wesleyan. Jenkins with a shot fake, and then he lost the ball on the way up, arguing that went off of Bluefield. Inbound to Collins. 2:45 left, gotta hurry. Collins works it up for Grisby. Grisby pulls up and hits the three. And it's back to 15. 81-66, but only 2:40 left on the game clock. And a timeout called by Morgan. 2:40 left to play. Full timeout called by the Rams, 81-66. Bulldogs leading on the Rams Digital Sports Network. .240 left to play. Rams trailing Tennessee Wesleyan 81-66. Wesleyan has the ball on the far side of the court. He comes in, got to work it up half court. Rams running full court pressure, trying to force a turnover late. White drives to the basket, has a shot blocked by Exume, and then a whistle comes in for the foul. White heading to the basket was fouled by Exume as Ederson picks up his second. Tennessee Wesleyan just 4 of 7 from the foul line tonight. This will be the first trip for Charles White. He's a 67% free throw shooter over the course of this season. Gets to the line more than anybody else on the team for the Bulldogs, and he misses the first. White trying to add to his 4 points and add to this 15-point lead for the Bulldogs. His second shot hits it. 82-66. 2.5 left. Grisby quickly across half court up to the three-point line. Goes to Page. Page drives in at the wing. Gives it up to Zeke Williams to the top of the arc. Williams works it underneath, and Exume is fouled on the way up. 2 shots coming up for Ederson Exume. And if you're Tennessee Wesleyan, you're all right with that. Exume shoots 45% from the line this year. He's 0 for 1 tonight. First shot rattles out, no good. McLean is in for Collins, adding some defensive help at the other end. Second shot off the mark. Exume goes 0 for 2, and the lead stays at 16. 82-66, 2:12 left. Clock ticking away. Pass up to Jenkins, who gives it back to White. Tennessee Wesleyan will not force the issue. Around to Robinson. Now turnip seat on the left wing. Shot clock is down to 15. Game clock rolls under 2 minutes. Robinson lost the dribble for a moment, has to corral it back in. Shot clock down to 5. White turned it over, ball's on the floor. Zeke comes away with it. McLean back over to Zeke, kicks it out to Grisby. Grisby lines up the 3 from the corner, and he buries it. Big shot from Kyle Grisby. It's not quite over yet. A 13-point game with 1.5 minutes left. Still a big hole to climb out of, but the Rams have covered some ground over the last 2 minutes. Timeout called with 1:36 left to play. Bluefield trailing Tennessee Wesleyan 82-69 on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Back from the timeout, 82-69, and turned over on the inbound. Pass came in to White, and he stepped on the baseline. The Rams will get it back and can cut it back to Tenn with a 3. There's some fight left in this team, not quite out of it. Grisby kicks over to McLean. McLean for 3 off the inbound, and air ball. And rebounded by Tennessee Wesleyan, and a quick foul comes in against White. Or rather, White fouled by Grisby. Tennessee Wesleyan in the bonus, so a 1-and-1 coming up for White. Just went 1 of 2 from the line a moment ago. White hits the front end of the 1-and-1, 83-69, with 1 minute and 31 seconds left. And buries them both. Back to a 15-point game with 1.5 minutes left. McLean kicks out. Collins for 3 from the corner. Too strong at the back of the rim. Page grabs the offensive rebound. Ball's tipped back out on the floor. Collins falls on top of it, bounces it back out to Page. And we'll have to reset. Rams, just 1 minute and 12 seconds left, have to go. Zeke Williams driving to the basket is fouled. Foul's called against Robinson as he picks up his 4th, and Zeke will head to the line for 2. Aaron Williams to the scorer's table to check back in. Wesleyan. It was tipped in by Robinson, so count the basket. 73-85 with 50 seconds left. Nearly turned over by White. White has a foul called against Kyle Grisby. He will go back to the line. So the lead is 12 with 47 seconds left. Rodney Casey comes in for Devin Page. White lines up the first shot, and he hits the front end of the 1-and-1. Lead back to 13. Derek Lee comes back in for Kyle Grisby. Rob Pinkston will come in after this foul shot. Second shot drops through. So White hits both, makes it 87-73. And I think with that, Richard Morgan is going to call it off for the rest of the game and succeed the victory to Tennessee Wesleyan. Concede the victory, rather. Lee hands off to Pinkston. Pinkston goes back to Lee. Ends up with Casey. Rodney Casey for 3 from the corner, and air ball too strong. It's out of bounds off of Tennessee Wesleyan. Inbound for Williams. Zeke inbounds it to Casey, and Casey has his shot blocked. Jenkins got right there to swan it away. Another try with 28.3 on the clock. 87-73. Zeke has a pass tipped, and it stays out of bounds. Another try. Zeke fires it over to Pinkston in the corner. Pinkston pulls up from 18 feet. The jump shot off the mark, no good. Casey tips it over to Williams. Williams off the offensive rebound, puts it back up and in for 2. Aaron for 2 to make it 87-75. Shot clock is off. Tennessee Wesleyan breaks the press, and that should do it. Well, the Rams set up the trap. Pinkston and Lee trapping against Turnipseed, who gives it back over to Kite. Kite works it back around to the top of the key, and that should do it. Clock rolls down 2 seconds, 1, and the final buzzer. The Rams fall 87-75. Closed it back to 12 here in the second half, but unable to cover up the 20-point first half lead for Tennessee Wesleyan. A big road loss tonight for the Rams. Bluefield needed this one and did not come away with a victory on the road. Drops to 9-11 on the year and 6-8 in the Appalachian Athletic Conference. Tennessee Wesleyan improves to 11-12, 6-9 in AAC play. Rams were led in scoring tonight by Kyle Grisby, who finished the game with 17 points. He had 4 3-pointers made. Devin Page had 14 points for the Rams. Aaron Williams finished off the night with 8 points and 10 rebounds. So a good night for Aaron Williams as he made some contributions off the bench. Tennessee Wesleyan led in scoring by Stephen Kite Jr., who had 22 points, 18 points for Leland Robinson for Tennessee Wesleyan. Dante Turnipseed had 15 points, 10 points for Charles White, making the free throws down the stretch. He went 6 of 8 from the line for the game. Tennessee Wesleyan hit 11 threes tonight, 11 of 18, and shot 57% from the floor. That percentage dropped a bit late in the game, 33 of 58. The Rams for tonight's game, 27 of 65, 42% from the floor. Just 6 of 23 from outside for 26%. And again, a 50% foul shot night. 13 of 26 as the Rams were out-rebounded 32-27. Really closed that gap in the second half. Tennessee Wesleyan scored 12 points off of turnovers. All 12 of those were in the first half, none in the second half directly. Rams ended up finishing with 17 points off of turnovers and 16 second chance points, so working hard on the offensive glass. Only had 1 offensive rebound in the first half, had 9 in the second half to turn into those 16 second chance points. And the Rams got 29 points off of the bench. Final score again, the Rams dropped this one 87-75 against Tennessee Wesleyan and fall a bit further back in the chase for the AAC standings heading into the tournament coming up in a couple of weeks. Bluefield has 4 games left to try to climb back up to 500. 4 games left in the regular season. Rams return to the court on Saturday against Reinhardt. Bluefield men's and women's teams will be on the floor at the Dome on Saturday against Reinhardt. You can catch that action on right here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Head to bcrams.com for more information on those games as well as for the broadcast links. That will wrap up tonight's coverage here from Athens, Tennessee, on the campus of Tennessee Wesleyan College and James L. Robb Gymnasium. My name is Trey Wilson. Thank you for tuning in for tonight's coverage of Bluefield Rams basketball on the Rams Digital Sports Network.